Good morning to you on Instagram and good morning to you here on Facebook. Tanj here, leadership and mindset specialist, really working to help you realize your potential in the least amount of time. Good morning. How are you? Lou is first cab off the rank on Facebook. Kate, well, there's a few first cabs off the rank. Good morning, Kate. Good morning, Emily. How are you this morning? Kate, I saw you did a 53-kilometer bike ride. Well done, my love. Look at you go. How are you this morning, Lou? Great to have your company. It is Monday, the 16th of December. And Monday, I come onto Facebook and Instagram Live. G'day, Kelly. Great to have you here to just share with you just some simple leadership or mindset strategies to help you realize your dreams and goals in the least amount of time. How was your weekend? And of course, hey, Amy, great to have you here as always. What's one word to describe? Hey, Josh, great to have you here as well. How you feel and right now. So I'm feeling really calm and ready for the week. I had the weekend, I had a really relaxing weekend. A great here, a very relaxing week, and that means I've got a little bit to catch up on, but I just gifted myself a no technology, no working, no doing weekend, buzzing with festive excitement and love. Oh, Emily, what a beautiful way to be. Amy's rested, I'm rested too. How are you, Lou? How are you, Josh? So I can't see all the comments yet on Facebook, but I want to just get started because I really value your time. We are, like days away from Christmas. It is a crazy time of the year. For some, it is really, really stressful because you're trying to wrap up a lot of things to go and have a break. You're overextending yourself financially to buy gifts you can't afford. Hey, Diana, how are you this morning? I'm so relaxed I can't even speak. And for some, this time of year can be super stressful because you're spending time with friends or family that you actually maybe don't even want to spend time with because, of past stuff, but you're coming together because of the Christmas period. G'day, Fiona. Great to have you here as always. So I just wanted to throw out there, good morning, Sam. Just an invitation for that you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do this festive season, man. You don't have to be with anyone you don't want to be with. Notice how you feel as you consider stepping into Christmas, and notice what's coming up with you around people you may have to spend time with or you may have to be with. So this is not on the agenda today, but it just came to mind as I started speaking. If you're feeling stressed about Christmas because you're going to spend time with people you don't want to spend time with, that really tells me that there is unfinished business or things that you need to communicate to get things complete. Or perhaps it's an invitation for you to just honor your truth and not go with the status quo and do what you think you should do to make other people happy. So remember, you are your own best compass for what is true to you. Moriori, great health. Hello. Oh, beautiful looking, glowing this morning. Oh, thank you. You're very kind. So if you're feeling stressed about Christmas, about the things that you're going to need to do or the people you have to spend time with, stop and ask yourself, what is incomplete here? What do I need to resolve here? And what would I love? What is my truth? I truly believe a world where people honor their truth more and more is a healthy world where we are just responsible for ourselves. So that's just my 2 cents worth about Christmas. And really don't, hey, Abby, great to have you here as well. Don't overextend yourself and just spend money you don't have just to impress people and then have to pay for it in the new year. Just a simple gift, something small is enough. Good morning, Erin. So just a little Christmas thought because I know many people are stressed out. So we are fast approaching the end of an era, the end of a decade, and we're getting ready to start a whole new year and a whole new decade being 2020. Typically this time of year, people start to reflect on their year and they start to inquire into what would they really love for the new year. Many of us make New Year's resolutions. Around 50% of us will not have even taken any action by the first week of February in these New Year's resolutions. So I wanted to share with you today, as a mindset specialist, what are the top 10 musts that you need to really integrate into 2020 to fulfill to fulfill on all of your visions, dreams, hopes, and desires. So if you aren't driving, and if you can, grab a pen and paper, because even if you just got, thanks for all the love, even if you just got one thing today that will really help you fulfill on those things that matter to you, then that is time well spent. Dan's feeling brave and honoring my family with good food and love, more than some families had. Look, Diane, a really good point there. You know, sometimes, you know, even as a parent, I complain about mess that my teenage kids might leave behind, you know, or complain that they don't unpack the dishwasher or they don't help without me asking. And when I notice myself complaining or, you know, feeling unhappy about those things, what shifts me into perspective is at least I've got a family to clean up after. Not that I clean up after them, but you know what I mean? At least I've got a family that I can wash towels of. At least I've got a family I can cook for. There's a lot of people that don't have anyone in their lives, and they would desperately love to have children or, you know, have close friends. So a really nice reminder. Good morning, Greg. Once again, happy 50th for you recently, my friend. So what are my top 10? So my 10 musts, mindset musts, for you to absolutely fuel inject the fulfillment of your 2020 and beyond visions. Here we go. Grab a pen and paper. You would have heard me if you followed me over this year or collaborated or contributed on these platforms, me talk about these, but I'm going to put them in a top 10. And I just invite you, as you hear them, even type in what are the ones that feel most relevant to you, that you know if you adopted and if you implemented would make the biggest difference for you in your life and your business. All right, number 10. There is a saying that says, without a vision, people perish. You have to have a vision. So number 10 is envision. What are you envisioning for yourself for 2020? And you can think about all the spokes in the wheel of life. What do you see for your health, your wealth, your family and friends, significant relationships, your personal development, your career, you know, your spirituality and contribution, your hobbies, passions and interests? What do you see for yourself? And if you want to take this a step further, create a vision board, because statistics show that if you have a digital or analog vision board for your dreams and goals for the next year, you achieve your chances of achieving it by elevate your chances of achieving it by 67%. So what is your vision for yourself? Get that really clear. The other common knowing of people is that if you have nothing to look forward to, that is the biggest cause for depression. If there is nothing for you to work towards or nothing for you to look forward to, hey Michelle, or Kate I should say, great to have you here, then that really just gives you access just to feel depressed or deflated, because you just Groundhog Day waking up every day. Now, before you create the fulfillment of your visions for 2020, my invitation is you've got to complete 2019. You've got to complete the past before you create the future. And we have a really great template to support you doing that. We're going to drop that into our bio on Instagram in the link, and also in this post for Facebook. So look out for that if you haven't heard us share that before. G'day, Brooklyn. Great to have you here as well. So number 10 is envision. What are you envisioning for yourself in your life, personally and professionally, for the new decade, typically for 2020? And before you start working on it, please make sure you complete 2019. Now, in this completion exercise we're going to share with you, there are 4 key questions that you must ask yourself to create a sense of completion. Good morning, Fairy Mary. We need to create a Gling Glong session together. The 4 questions you want to ask yourself to complete 2019 are these. So feel free to write them down, but as I said, we'll be posting a template in here as well. Good morning, Lloyd. Great to see you here, champ. How are you feeling today? So to complete 2019, these are the 4 questions you must ask yourself before starting to envision for 2020. Number 1, what have you created this year? What have you created in your health, your wealth, your friends and family? What have you created in your hobbies, passions and interests, in your relationships, in your personal development, in your career or your job or your business? What have you created spiritually or volunteering or contribution? What have you created? What have you made happen in the world? That's number one. Number two, what are you over? And I like to spell that OVA, over, like you've had enough of. What have you had enough of around your health, around your money, around friends or family, around, you know, your hobbies, passions or interests, or actually not doing anything around those? What are you over? What are you over about yourself and others? And when you answer this question, you want to let it rip. You want to just really purge so you can get it out of your subconscious mind. The third question, once you've unpacked everything you're over, is what have those things taught you? Because here's what I can promise you for sure. If you don't learn the lessons from the things that you're over, that you're doing consciously or subconsciously, or things that are happening in your life, if you don't learn the lessons, they're going to come and bite you in the bum in 2020, because life is here to give us lessons and blessings. Either way, it is a blessing, even though sometimes they come poorly wrapped. So what are these things teaching you? Actively sit and learn the lesson. Otherwise, it'll be history repeating itself in 2020. And that's a really great alchemic activity to take. And the fourth question is, what are you committed to creating next? So consider, before you start planning 2020, you want to complete 2019. What have you created? Really powerfully acknowledge yourself, because too many times we're hardwired to focus on what we don't have and what we haven't done. What are you over? OVA, had enough of? What are the things that you're learning about those things that you're over? And what are you committed to creating next? And use those 8 spokes in the wheel. That's the first step. Then you want to start really envisioning, what do you see for yourself in 2020? So that's my top 10 tip. Top 9 tip is engage. Who are you spending your quality time with? The people that you spend time with will either elevate or deflate your energy. Do you know what I mean? Do you have any people in your life that you've actually done that with? G'day, Marcus. Great to have you here, champ. How's the surf? Have you been? Hello, Holistic Home. Awesome to have you here. So remember, the 9th Mindset Mastery must for you to realize your goals for 2020 is engage. Engage with? Who are you spending your quality time with? There is that saying that we become the people that we hang out with. So take a look. Are the people that you with elevating your state or deflating it? Are they encouraging you to grow and calling you straight on your BS when you're not fulfilling on your promises? Or do they sit down and kumbaya and wallow in self-pity and complain about all the things outside of their control, the reasons why they don't have what they wanted to have in 2019? Who are you spending your precious quality time with? And how are you engaging with the people in your community? So I would invite you, as you prepare for 2020, is to do a stock take. Do a stock take for the people in your life, and if they are encouraging and empowering it to you to grow and you feel good about yourself. Now that doesn't mean it's all cushy, it's all peace, love and mung bean, it's all nice. They could be the one challenging most. Or who do you want to spend more time with? Yes, I was getting to that. Who do you want to spend more time with? Who are the people that make you feel good? Not because they collude and agree with you, but because they're a stand. Good morning, Marcus. Because they're a stand for you. Because they're going to call you on your crap. Because they're going to billow your dreams to life. Because they're going to be there through the shitty times. Because they're going to be there for the great times. Who are the people that you want to spend time with? Who you engage your energy with is critical, and that absolutely affects your state of mind. So I invite you to do a stock take. As I said, who do you want to actually just go thank you, whether it was a reason, a season or a lifetime? We are now complete. And who do you want to say, listen, I miss you, I love you, I want to spend time with you more, very merry, and let's actually schedule some time in to have some quality time to grow together. Sue, hey, good morning, great to have you here. We're unpacking my top 10 mindset musts for you to achieve your visions for 2020. Now, number 8, I'm counting down from 10 to 8. This is embody. Who are you being? See, most of us think, what do I need to do to have the body, have the man, have the woman, have the money, have the house, have the car, have the things? Then I'll be happy. That's exhausting. That's not the way the universe works. That's not the way Mother Nature works. The way we truly work is, who am I being? Your being will determine what you do. What you do will influence what you have or don't have. So if you're wondering whether what you're embodying, you've either got two lanes. You are embodying empowering qualities that encourage you to elevate and fly, or you are embodying disempowered qualities that are keeping you stuck and oscillating in your life. How do you know whether you're embodying empowering or disempowering qualities? Anyone guess? You know by how you feel. How do you feel? Do you feel happy, fulfilled, challenged, alive, electric, growing? Do you feel stuck, oscillating, miserable, sad, resentful, victim? Our thoughts, words, and actions will be influencing where we are. So the first thing is, take a look. What are you embodying? Happiness or misery? Love or fear? And just get straight with yourself. And just get honest and look at, what are the things that are affecting the quality of your life and the characteristics that you're embodying. Does this make sense? Please let me know either on Instagram or on Facebook what you're hearing for yourself, and what you think that you could implement or shift or change or focus on to really get some traction and action, so 2020 looks like a completely different year. Be careful what you think and say, because you are listening. So you're in either one or the other lane. And, for me, embodiment is really key, because it will influence everything that you do and everything that you produce as a result. And if you're embodying deflated energy, then that'll influence what you eat or you don't eat, how you look after yourself, how you treat the people around you, how your relationship with your money is, yourself and your life, whether you say yes when you really mean no, whether you people please to seek validation, or whether you just courageously honor your truth and you speak your truth even if your voice shakes. So I'd love to hear from you. Can you type in a little check-in? How are you feeling about yourself now, and what are you embodying? And some days you embody everything. Some hours we embody both disempowered and empowered. But right now, if you were to do an honest little check-in of whether you're embodying empowered or disempowered qualities and attributes, just type it in, just as a little check to see where you're at. Number 7, as we count down to 1, empower. How are you empowering yourself to shift from being disempowered to empowered, to help you really fulfill on the things that matter to you? Amy's feeling disempowered. Amy, thank you for being so honest. You always provide a beautiful, transparent lens on this platform. So you get great value because I can contribute to you and offer you some free coaching. And you also get to be a lighthouse for everyone else that may be thinking how they feel but not courageous enough to say it because we're afraid of being judged. And Emily's the same, disempowered. Ladies, what I want to ask you now, what is the source of your disempowered state? Is it something that you can control and influence, or is it something outside of your control? I say yes when I mean no. Great. Emily, can I give you a tip here? I've talked about this before. The reason people please and say yes when we mean no. Diane's empowered today. I love that. Empowered today. The reason we say yes when we mean no, the reason we people please is because we are seeking validation and we're trying to get connection and love from others, because at core we don't feel good enough. So we park our own hopes, dreams and desires and our time. And Amy's saying her own self-talk. Thank you for your honesty, ladies. And we say yes and we people please because we all ultimately want love and connection and validation. And when we don't have that, we feel lonely and disconnected, which is one of the things that all of us humans really want to avoid. However, when you say yes when you mean no, you're out of integrity and you're not congruent with your higher self. And I fundamentally believe that when we are not congruent with our higher selves, we act in that place, then not congruent in our higher selves with others. So then we create situations that are not of the highest good for them either. So if you say yes to other people and you really mean no, thank you, that's not good for them energetically. So Bianca, great to have you here, my love. How are you? So the best thing you could do is be courageous enough to honor your truth and say no, thank you. Good morning, Kylie Charlton, and say no, thank you, and stop people pleasing, because people pleasing will be the power cord that removes you from your own source, and what you think you're achieving is actually going to be ineffective. Emily, this has to change, and this must be your mantra for 2020. Honor thyself, honor thy truth, and get comfortable being uncomfortable, saying no thank you. Don't be afraid that people are going to disown you because you're not saying yes to them. People can feel energetically if you're honoring your truth. And if you say yes when you really mean no, it's likely that resentfulness is going to kick in because you're not in alignment. What have we got here? Kylie saying, Kylie Charlton, people, I don't know what you mean by that, Kylie. Please explain. Hey, by the way, if you're watching this live, type in live for me on Instagram and Facebook. And if you're watching the record, type in the record. So, Emily, are you willing to actually give up the need to people please? People pleaser. Yes, people pleasing. It's just your ego seeking validation and connection because you don't feel good enough. We all have done it and we all do it. Emily, are you willing to cut it out? Are you willing to stop? Are you willing to honor your truth and say no thank you? People pleaser, that's me. Yes. Oh, at least you're honest, Kylie. You know, Kylie, it doesn't serve you. I know you know that. And we're having a conversation here around shifting your mindset so you can absolutely have an incredible 2020 and achieve the things that are really important to you. So stick around, Kylie, because I'm going to unpack the number one mindset mastery must for you to absolutely fulfill on your 2020 visions, and it's going to make sense to what you're sharing here. So, what are you doing to empower yourself? And listen, if you're watching this and you want to empower yourself for 2020, honor your truth. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. You do not have to be an ass about saying no thank you to people. If people ask something from you, or you go to offer help all the time and you don't have the time and you're putting your stuff at risk or jeopardy, then you want to start leaning into, oh, look at that. That's me people pleasing. I'm going to please and honor my truth and myself, and I know that's going to be the highest vibration, and that's going to be the highest way I can be a contribution to others. There is nothing more inspiring than watching a woman or a man, a human being fully congruent with themselves, not people pleasing, not dishonoring their truth, but just standing true and being polite in the process. Yeah, great. Okay, awesome. I hope you got something for yourself there. Now, number 6. So we've covered 10 is envision. You've got to complete before you create a whole new year and start to get clear about your desires for 2020. Engage. Look at who you're engaging your energy and your precious time with, whether they empower you or disempower you, whether they elevate or deflate you. You become the people in the community that you hang around with, and your vibe attracts your tribe. Good morning, Christine. Great to have you here as well. Embody. You're either embodying the qualities of disempowered negativity and fear, or empowered love, courage, and greatness. This takes something. This is easy. This is influenced by the past. This gets created by the future that you declare you want to step into. Now, empower was number 7. What are you doing to empower yourself? If there are things that you want to achieve with your health, your wealth, your family and friends, your hobbies, passions and interests, your relationships, your personal development, your career, business, job, your spirituality, you either have the skill yourself or you don't, or you have the skill and you've got to be willing to use it consistently. By the way, I know I'm going quickly, but is this making sense? Because I've got a bit I want to get through in the least amount of time. Let me know if this is making sense, and let me know which one out of the 6 I've already, or the 1, 2, 3, 4 I've already mentioned that resonates with you the most right now. So what are you doing to empower yourself? Are you going to educate yourself? Are you going to read more? Are you going to watch less television? Are you going to listen to podcasts? Are you going to sign up for a course? Are you going to turn off distraction? Are you going to reduce the amount of time on social Are you going to, get a coach? Are you going to join some kind of membership? Are you going to join the gym? Are you going to use the gym membership? Are you going to meditate? What are you going to do to empower yourself to develop the skills and the consistent will to take the action to fulfill on the things that matter to you? And if you're unclear, take a look at what are you avoiding doing. G'day Dee, great to have you here. Empowerment is key, because if you don't empower yourself with the skill and consistent application of the will, your visions will simply be dreams that lay dormant, and a dream without a plan is just a wish. So empowering yourself is a plan to succeed. So, and if there's any way that I can be of service to empowering you to shift from disempowered to empowered, from disorganized to organized, from fearful to courageous, from a people pleaser to a truth owner, then I'm here for you. Kelly Smith, having a vision for 2020 and empowering myself. Listen, Kelly, thank you. You absolutely deserve it. Jamie, great to have you here. We're talking about the top 10 mindset mastery tips for you to achieve your 2020 visions. I'm unpacking them from 10 to 1. I want to hear what you're hearing for yourself. Just write a couple of words. What's the top one that you're hearing? And if this is making sense and valuable, then let me know with some kind of word or emoji. I sabotage myself, says Amy. Great. Well, you know that. You got to cut that out. Oh, I need this, says Jamie. Great. Well, stay tuned, and what you've missed, you can go back and watch the recording for sure. It'll be up on Instagram within the hour. Organization, yeah, being organized. Hey, thank you for being so engaged. By the way, Insta's winning Facebook. These guys are more engaged. Give me some information. Give me some feedback. What are you hearing here for yourself on Facebook? Diane says, I'm going to be brave. I'm not sure the details, but when I feel scared, I step into bravery. Yeah, listen. If greatness is on the other side of the door of fear, the door itself is vulnerability and the door handle is courage. You've got to turn the door handle of courage and be vulnerable enough to step through your fear to actually fulfill on your greatness. Hey, Patty, great to have you here. And one of the reasons we don't do that is because we're scared of what people think of us. We are so scared of what people think of us. It just sabotages our success. So, what are you going to do to empower positive skills and consistent will to apply those skills so you break through the barriers of where you've been able to achieve success in the past? She loves that. Thank you. You're welcome, Diane. Number 6, as we count down to 1, evaluate. Want to know how to get this rebelling against routine under control. Listen, Amy, what I'll say here is if you're rebelling against routine, you are getting one of the 5 benefits. Let me quickly unpack this for you. By the way, all of you listening, if you know you procrastinate, you sabotage, morning Tanj, late today, watch the replay. All good, Patty, thanks for being here. If you know what to do and you aren't doing it and you're sabotaging your success, you're procrastinating, you're putting things off, you're avoiding, I've been there too. I'm going to quickly unpack with you the 5 benefits your ego gets out of doing that. Number 1, you get to be right about you're not good enough and you'll never achieve what you want. Number 2, you're avoiding responsibility for taking the action to step fully into your greatness and realizing your potential. Number 3, you'd rather stay safe and small in comfortable environment, in familiar territory you don't like, but there's no risk there and there's no risk of being judged. There's no risk of people pointing their finger and going, ha ha, you failed. That's the most popular one. Number 4, you get to be a victim. You get to be that life is happening to you and you don't have the power to influence or change it. And number 5, we become drama kings and queens because we don't feel good enough and we create drama because we're seeking significance. So if you are sabotaging yourself, if you're rebelling against routine, one of these benefits is just a greater currency for you. So take a look. Safe and small. Yes. Eek, that's my jam. Don't like to show vulnerability. Do you know vulnerability, in my humble opinion, is the sexiest? Is it the sexiest? It's a pretty sexy quality, put it that way. We fall in love with people who are willing to be seen, warts and all. An unbelievable amount of international research shows that vulnerability is the pathway to greatness. Try and birth anything new in the world and not be vulnerable. Try and create and the fulfillment of your greatness and your potential and not, just sneak into status quo without being vulnerable. Try being in love without being vulnerable. Try being a parent without being vulnerable. If you are not being vulnerable in your life, I promise you, you are not growing, and you're certainly not going to reach the depths and the treasures that lay dormant within you because of your fear of what people say, or your fear of what people think. So which one is it? Are you being right about your shitty beliefs, avoiding responsibility of fulfilling on your greatness, being safe and comfortable hanging out familiar territory you don't like because there's no risk? Are you being a victim, relating like everything else is more important and you don't have the power to change anything? And are you being a drama king or queen seeking significance? You get straight about that. You take responsibility for that. You take responsibility that that is the greatest currency, that rather than just being vulnerable and taking an action and seeing what happens and stuffing up and just picking yourself up and dusting yourself off and going again. Your 20 will never be the same if you start to be vulnerable and courageous. Listen, I have no script for today other than my whiteboard in front of me with 10 notes with one sentence, and I am just riffing here, tuning into the content I know, but I'm not, I've already stuffed up a couple of words, but I'm not here trying to be perfect. I'm not here trying to be polished. I'm here just trying to give you some free content that if you grab one thing and introduce and implement it into your life, it's going to make a difference, because I know it does. That's vulnerable. That's courageous. So where can you be vulnerable and courageous and put yourself out there? That's my invitation. So that's what's going to help you empower yourself. Now, number 6, did that make sense, by the way? And what did you get for yourself around that? Number 6, evaluate. You don't know where you're going if you don't know where you are. So you've got to not polish. Yeah, polished. I totally believe that. Love seeing your vulnerability. It's inspiring. Well, thank you, Diane. You're very welcome. Not to be polished. Yeah, man. Oh, God. Polish is unattainable. It's inaccessible. People love real people. People, you know, that we need more real people. You can smell inauthenticity a mile away. And, you know, different strokes for different folks. Now, if there's things that you want to achieve for yourself in your life, you need to know how you're going. So you need some way of evaluating. Are you achieving your health goals? Did you eat clean or not? Did you drink wine or not? Did you go to the gym or not? Did you have 7 hours sleep or not? Did you press snooze or not? Like, stop pretending you're doing stuff you're not. Evaluate. Are your actions in alignment with your words? Are you walking your talk? If you say you're going to prospect for 2 hours and it's in your calendar, are you doing it? If you say you're going to clean your car before open for inspections, are you doing it? Do you have integrity with your word? If you want to achieve your greatness in 2020, you must become in alignment with your word. You must become a person who does what they say they're going to do. And here's true vulnerability. I forgot that on the weekend, I told myself and my assistant that I would write in all my clients' Christmas cards and have them ready to send today. And I didn't. I took my foot off the pedal and I just switched off for the weekend because I really felt that's what I needed. And I'm out of integrity with my word. I didn't do what I said I was going to do. Now I've got to make up for that today. My day's really tight, so we can hit the post and send some love to our clients. So it's not about beating myself up about the thing that I didn't do, but it's about not being my word. The biggest thing I know, if you want to evaluate your success, if I can give you one tip to actually achieve greatness for 2020, it's be your word. So the reason I share something I didn't do is because it would be completely inauthentic for me to bang on about be your word with that in the background of, oh shit, I said I would have that done and I didn't do that. I unplugged, I switched off. I went into flight mode all weekend. Does that make sense? So yeah, I'll have those done today and if I don't get them all done tonight, certainly. So then everything will get posted half today and half tonight. So you must have ways to measure and manage and evaluate if you're on track, and be straight about it and stop pretending. Yes, be your word is my 2020. You know, oh man, I'm going to do a whole episode on being your word. I actually have already, but it's my favorite message. It's something that I really dedicate my life to, around being your word, because you literally create your world through your words. So just slow down. Stop saying what you're gonna do or shoulda, coulda, woulda, gonna done if you're not going to do it. The best way I know for you to get in alignment to achieve your goals is to be your word. So you have to have ways to evaluate. Are you hitting your health, wealth, friends, family, hobbies, passions and interests, personal relationships, personal development, work, career, spirituality, goals? Are you hitting your goals? And if not, are you reflecting and adjusting, or are you just beating yourself up? You must evaluate how you're going to see how effective you are on achieving your goals. Number 5, we're halfway through and I'll keep going. Encourage. When you do take an action, when you are vulnerable, when you get out there and do something brave and it doesn't work out, do you beat yourself up and crack the whip, or do you wave the wand and say, well done, you at least gave it a crack? And go back to that engagement piece, number 9. Are the people around you going, well, hey, you know, good on you, Amy, you gave it a go. What did you learn and what can you implement to go again? Or do they say, oh yeah, no, that's too hard, you should quit, don't do that again? So for number 5 is about encouragement. You have to have people in your corner. If you don't have a coach, you got to have a friend. You got to have someone in your corner that keeps encouraging you to keep going when you bump up against big stuff personally and professionally and you want to quit. Because believe me, on the path to greatness, you're going to want to quit. You're going to want to stop. You're going to want to be inconsistent. You'll procrastinate. You'll give up. It's bound to happen. I believe that we just need to get back on the horse as quick as possible, get responsible for the benefits of the ego that we're getting, and get back into action. You don't have to wait to January the 1st to reinvent yourself and declare who you're going to be in the world. You can actually just go, now I'm a vegetarian. Now I'm a non-smoker. Now I'm someone that prospects 2 hours Monday to Friday. Now I go to the gym 5 days a week. Now I can have, like, you can make a decision, invent your right now. You can cut out a behavior right now. It's choice. It's just choice. But you got to have people in your world that encourage you to be your word around your choices. Because if you don't, you're going to be slippery with yourself. So you have to encourage yourself when you stuff up, and you need to have people and engage with people around you that encourage and billow your greatness to life as well. Number 4, is this all making sense, by the way? What are you hearing for yourself on Facebook? I'd love to hear from you. Number 4, you need to raise your standards for 2020. You need to be clear about where you stand, because if you don't know where you stand, you'll fall for anything. This goes back to evaluating. Evaluate the quality of your life, the quality of your food, the quality of your lifestyle, the people in your life, where you live, the company you work for, the way you relate to time, the way you think. You must raise your standards. You deserve better. So if you feel stuck and oscillating, it's time to raise your standards, get clear about what you want, and define your values. Because as I said, if you don't know where you stand, you'll fall for anything. G'day, Brendan. How are you? We're unpacking my top 10 mindset musts for you to achieve your 2020 visions. So raising your standards and being clear, and then consistent in doing them. And listen, let me just say publicly, Brendan's a client of mine. If there's a dude that I've seen go from here to here in a short space of time, it's him. If there's someone I've seen that's just consistently working on themselves to do the tweaks to keep elevating, to keep fulfilling on their greatness, to keep influencing, it's him. Brendan, I just want to take this opportunity to say what a privilege it's been to coach you this year, and how proud I am of what you have personally achieved. You are inspiring, my friend, and you know how to be a student, you know how to be coachable, and you know how to implement, and look at what you've achieved in such a short space of time. Well done. Emily, there are areas in my life that are amazing, and other areas I make excuses for myself. Yeah, you know, oh, good on you, Amy. Yeah, I love that about you, Amy. You're always good to, you know, wave the pom-poms for others. Amy and Emily are sending love and saying, you're go, Brendan. Yes, Emily, we all do that. You know, sometimes that's because we don't believe we can have it all. So we go and fly in other areas, and then the other areas where we just stay small. But I believe how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you're really great financially, but your relationships suck, or your health is really good, but you're in debt and your tax is not paid, you got to know that that area that's incomplete or ineffective or out of integrity will be affecting all areas of your life. Your life is not compartmentalized. You are a hologram. So don't think for a minute that if you're got a great relationship, but your finances are in a mess, or your health sucks, but your relationship is great, that the areas that are challenged are not going to impact and influence and have a ripple effect on everything else. That's why you want to just gently work on all areas. And then when you work on all areas, boom, your whole life elevates. And that's that number 4 piece. Raise your standards in all areas of life. Don't become complacent that this area is fine, but this sucks and that's okay. You can have it all. You were born to fulfill your potential, and stop accepting mediocre and creating mediocre for yourself, because you deserve to have it all. They intertwine, exactly, Emily. Now, number 3, you can't have visions and dreams and hopes and ideas and plans and goals and desires without a plan. Without a strategy to fulfill in it. And strategy is just a boring corporate word for a plan. You got to have a plan. What's a plan? Make time to do stuff. It's really simple. I think there's too much corporate speak of strategy and engagement and plan and blah, blah, blah. Like, it's just, have you made time to take action to move the dial? And if you've made time and you're not using that time to move the dial, it's not going to get done. If you make the time and you take the action, it's going to get done. And then you take the next action and you take the next action. That's how you do it. It's really not any more complicated than that. So simplify your strategies, simplify your plan. When you get clear about what you want to create in 2020 after you've done your completion exercise, work out the actions you need to take and the time you need to take it, and then stick to the plan. Otherwise, you're not going to have the actions fulfilled. Now, I am currently behind on my training plan for Digital Live Ride. I'm exercising. I've integrated yoga, so I'm exercising at the gym. I've now started yoga, but the training plan is at least 3 rides a week. And I've done, since November, the start of November, it's now December, I've only done 2 rides. I am not on track to be saddle ready for riding 500 Ks across Thailand in 5 days. So I'm readjusting my plan this week to just know I don't have to think about it. I can just show up on that day and that day and that day in the week and ride and fulfill on my training plan. Does that make sense? So raise your standards is number 4, and number 3 is simplify your strategies. You've got to allocate the time to do the stuff. Remove all distraction. Brendan and I talked a lot about that last week. We have to remove the distraction to take the action to elevate our altitude in our business and our life. Remove distraction of social media, remove distraction of answering, do the work when it's designed to help you progress and move forward. Number 2, you've got to elevate your state. To achieve your goals and visions in 2020, you have to elevate your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual state. Physically, are you eating fuel or filler? Are you doing substance abuse? No judgment, just love, but is it serving you? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you hydrated? Like, are you taking care of your physical body, or is your mind just so caffeined and you're just shoving whatever's around in there and really unconscious of your temple, and therefore your body is going to come and give you a loving bitch slap in 2020 to say, sorry, this is unsustainable. So take a look. Are you looking after yourself physically? And if not, get nothing out of this conversation. Take some action around that for 2020, but start today. This moment is fleeting. This life is short. So please honor the body that carries your soul and your potential around every day, and treat it as sacred, because if you don't, it's going to let you know. Mentally, are you stuck in the past or worried about the future? If you're anxious and worried, you're not present, you're stuck in the past and worried about the future. So you must bring your mental state to this very moment. Practice being a moving meditation and practice presence. Meditation is about detaching from automatic thought. Thoughts, we have 60 to 90,000 of them a day. 90% of them are the same regurgitated thoughts as yesterday, and 85% of our thoughts are negative. So if you're wondering why you're not doing the things that you know you need to do to achieve the goals that you want to fulfill, it's because of what you're thinking about. Okay, so be careful what you think and say, for you are listening. Bring a state of presence and be right here, right now. And if you're doing the dishes, do the dishes. If you're driving the car, drive the car, not texting in the car. If you're prospecting, prospect. If you're with your partner or your kids, be with your partner or your kids. Emotions. Emotions are energy in motion. Don't suppress them, express them, but don't hang out there and set up camp and kumbaya and toast marshmallows in suffering and the sediment of suffering and the quicksand of emotional suffering. That is a choice. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is a choice. So if you are emotional, it's just energy in motion. Express it. Be authentic. But don't hang out and set up camp there, because that's just an excuse to get you off track to fulfilling your goals and dreams. Does that make sense? And spiritually, if you are unfulfilled, it's not because you're not allocating the time to look after yourself physically. Mentally, you're worried or anxious in the past or the future and not present. Emotionally, you're suppressing stuff down and you're not dealing with your emotions, so you become volcanic and reactive and snapdragon. So let that energy be in motion and get it out, either on your own, dance it out, draw it out, scream it out, get a coach, get a therapist, get a counselor and express it out, but get it out. Get it out and make space. But don't hang out there. Intention, having real conversations. Yes, there is something sexy about authentic and real conversations, for sure. So yeah, if you do those things, then spiritually you're likely to be more fulfilled. And how do you get spiritually fulfilled? You just do what you love. You follow the blueprint of your heart. You stop people pleasing and you just honor your truth and follow your heart. That's the best way I know. That's number two. Elevate your state has 4 elements: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. You've got to take those actions to elevate your state. So a quick countdown before we get to my top tip for mastering your mind so you can fulfill on your 2020 visions is: number 10, envision, have a vision for yourself for 2020, make it nice and clear. But before you work on it, complete 2019 by using our complimentary template that you'll find in my LinkedIn bio, in my Insta bio on here in Facebook. And if you're listening to the podcast of this, go on to my Insta page, the Tanj, and go to my bio link and you can get a complimentary 2019 completion exercise. Super, super powerful exercise to fuel inject your focus for 2020. 9, engage. You become your environment, your vibe attracts your tribe. Do a stock take of the people you're spending your time with. Who are you engaging your energy with? Because you're going to become who they are. Are they empowering you or disempowering you? Number 8, embody. Are you embodying disempowering or empowering qualities? It's time to get straight about that and get honest with yourself. To shift your focus on your circle of influence rather than your circle of concern, so you can embody higher quality characteristics to achieve the things that matter to you. Number 7, empower. You have to consistently work on yourself to empower you to hit the goals. It's because it's not about the goal. I've just had a client achieve a goal that they've been working towards for 2 years. And it's not about the goal that they've achieved. It's about the person he became to achieve that goal. There is nothing greater. And we know the key to happiness is progress. So when we're progressing, we are happy. When we're feeling potential, we are happy. I know I'm just talking a lot at you, but I want to make sure you're picking up what I'm putting down. Let me know on Facebook. What are you hearing? What are you getting for yourself? And number 6, evaluate. Are you on track with your goals or in the spokes of the wheel of life? And if not, why not? And how are you evaluating? How often? What are the tools and resources that you're using? Number 5, halfway, encourage. When you stuff up, do you beat yourself up and crack the whip, or do you wave the wand of courage and vulnerability and go, good on you, keep going, Amy? Just what did you learn? What did you learn? What did you learn? And keep going. Hey, Louisa, great to have you here, my love. Number 4, raise your standards. You deserve to have it all. You deserve to have the best life. So where are you playing mediocre? Why don't you elevate your standards? And then number 3, simplify your strategies to achieve them. Have a plan. Look like allocate time to do stuff, to fulfill on what you say matters, and show up and do it. And then do it again, and then do it again, and just chop wood, carry water. And number 2, elevate your state. Remember, garbage in, garbage out. Good in, good out. Be careful what you say, for you are listening. Look after yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And the best way I know how to do that is by number 1. My top 10 mindset mastery must for achieving your goals, visions, dreams, hopes, and desires for 2020 is getting clear about your definition of yourself. The 2 most powerful words you can say are I am, ... Whatever you follow that with will define who you are. You can Control Alt Delete all the other 9 that I've said, actually, because no insight, no strategy, no tool, no tip, no coach, no mentor, no membership group, no podcast, no book, nothing is going to shift the dial for you in 2020 until you shift a disempowered definition that you're unsuccessful, you're fat, you're not good enough, you're a people pleaser, you're ineffective, you'll never have enough money, you never have enough time, whatever it is you're telling yourself, your definition. If you don't shift it from disempowered to empowered, you'll never take the actions that are consistent with it, because your ego will have to sabotage yourself, because it's got to be right that you're not good enough. So my number 1 tip, Emily's like, oh, deep, really deep. My number 1 tip is how you see yourself, how you define yourself, what you tell yourself about who you are is the most important thing to achieving anything that matters. And there's only 2 channels that you have. You have shitty AM, ego AM, crappy talkback radio that is negatively about you, others in the world. Hey Joe, great to have you here. Or you have Soul FM. Shitty ego AM is negatively about me and it works against me. This is your shitty beliefs that you tell yourself about why you don't have what you have or can't have what you have. Soul FM is positively for me and it forwards myself in life. You have to know that you have 2 frequencies, 2 channels, and your subconscious mind is like a radio station receiving music every nanosecond from both channels, and it only has 1 channel to broadcast from, and it says yes to whatever you say is the most important or the most dominant thought. Said really simply, you either have a disempowered or an empowered relationship with yourself. You either think good or bad things about yourself. You either tell yourself positive or predominantly negative things. If you have hopes and dreams and desires for better health, greater wealth, deeper relationships, fulfilling experiences, an amazing partnership, phenomenal personal growth, unbelievable professional success, and incredible fulfilling spirituality and contribution to others, start with you. Start telling yourself you're enough, you matter, and you got this far. That's it. That's it. We're too hard on ourselves. So I hope you got something for yourself out of me unpacking my top 10 musts. G'day, Kellyanne, for you to achieve what matters most to you in 2020. I'd love to hear from you. What was the one that stood out for you the most? What are you going to implement as a result? Please know that our last Rapid Fire Friday for the year is this Friday, where I just reflect on my top one-on-one coaching themes for the last week of our business for 2020. And I'll just be wrapping up with a personal thank you. Amy, in capital letters, you gorgeous woman, thank you from the depth of my heart. Amy, you are welcome. I acknowledge you. You know how to get value. You show up every week. You engage. You're vulnerable. You share yourself. You get the goods. So I hope that you got something for yourself and you're going to implement it. Emily, thank you for all that you have given us this year. We are grateful for you. Diane, phew, you're epic. Thank you, ladies. I really appreciate that. My life is all about giving you access to be happy and fulfilled and fulfilling your potential now. Enough mediocre, enough playing small, enough being isolated, being. I want you to fulfill everything that you say in your heart matters to you. So I hope you got some value out of that today. Now, good morning. We'll be replaying Merry Christmas. Yes, you're very welcome, Kellyanne. So please jump on within the hour to our LinkedIn, I keep saying LinkedIn, our Insta bio for the link to complete your completion exercise. And we'll drop the link here again in Facebook. We've done that before. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments on anything that I've shared today, please DM me or email me at Tanja, Tanja, at tmjcoaching.com.au, soon to be rebranded to Tanja Lee. We'll be launching that in the first week of Jan. New brand, new website, new goals and dreams for ourselves. Idea for me is living a brave life. Yes, Sam, thanks to a brilliant session. Thank you for that awesome framework to work with and very real. Sam, absolutely. Thank you, champ. I really appreciate that feedback. I love you. I hope you have an amazing day and a phenomenal week. And in the words of the late, great Maya Angelou, remember, hey, Mama Stone, people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will actually, before I finish that, I'll say it. People will never forget how you made them feel. Someone that's about to make the world feel great is my friend Lael Stone. She's just joined Mama Stone. Mama Stone has just landed herself a TED Talk for TEDx on the 20th of February, looking at emotional literacy for parents and the importance of bringing connection and empathy into schools to equip kids with solid selves, and so they can build phenomenal connections with others and create and carve lives they freaking love, so they can go and contribute to the world. Lael Stone, I honor you for getting into action and getting yourself that TED Talk. Yes, amazing. Watch this space. Please, if you're a parent, I want you to watch this TED Talk and I want you to share it. We need this message to go viral. I love you, sister. I'm proud of you big time. Missed this morning, Joe. We'll watch the record. Thank you. Such wise words and coaching. You are awesome. You are awesome too, my love. Thank you. Yes, Diane, it is amazing. And what I acknowledge Lael for is you're welcome. She had a sister-in-law and me going, you need to do a TED Talk. And I was like, right, when? This is what I'm talking about. When I unpack the top 10 mindset mastery tips and I say engage, surround yourself with people, this is what I'm talking about. I'm not saying surround yourself with people who are going to tim-tam and a cup of tea and complain and whinge and bitch about life. I'm talking about engage and surround yourself with people that are like, I know what you're passionate about. I know who you are in the world. Get out of your way and get out there and give it a go. What are you waiting for? What are you scared about? Give it a crack. You may fail. Okay, awesome. Then you go again. So, Lael's sister-in-law and myself were like, you got a TED Talk in you. You need to. And I was like, when? And held her accountable. She applied. She was told within 48 hours she's got an audition. She did the audition on Saturday. She was told within 48 hours she would know. Within the hour they called her, they said, we saw 12 people today, 4 stood out, 1 really stood out, and that one, I'm getting emotional, was you. That's courage, my friends. The beautiful thing about going beyond our fear and being courageous and vulnerable is we make magic happen. We make magic happen. And Layla is going to have a global impact because she busted through her fear and took the action. And she's extremely excited about herself, about it. So I get moved because I'm passionate about people fulfilling their potential, and nothing lights me up more. Grant Mullen, g'day. I love you on that emotional explosion of energy. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love you. Have a beautiful week. And go achieve your greatness. Go be unreasonable with yourself today and this week. And please join me for this year, for Rapid Fire Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time this Friday. I'll see you. I love you. Boom shakalaka. See you on Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye-bye to our friends on Facebook.